Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And let's finish talking about this episode of And Just Like Crap. Okay, because the next episode is coming out tomorrow. All right, and I just think I don't want to deal with this tomorrow. Okay, I don't want to deal with it today, but I have to because I review this. I review this show. I committed myself to this show. Okay, a long time ago, several years ago. If you look at my older videos here, I said, like back in 2021, I think it was, or it might have been 2020, I'm not sure. But I said that I was going to review every single episode of this abortion of a show, and I will. I will. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how much I have to hate watch it, I will. Okay, what's really sad is that I was a fan of Sex and the City. Okay, I've reviewed every episode, I've watched every episode more than once. Okay, some of you, thank you, have corrected me on certain things. I appreciate that. Okay, I probably knew it at the time when I reviewed the episodes, but I forgot about it since then because it's been a couple of years since I reviewed those episodes, all right? But it's on here. I mean, it's here if you want to see what I thought about all the old episodes. Okay, you think this is bad? Well, actually, I think this is worse because I liked Sex and the City. As bad as Sex and the City was, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. I didn't agree with it. I didn't agree with the politics. I didn't agree with the sex positive message that they were sending out there, trying to have these relatively unattractive women, okay, slightly attractive women, okay, having all this crazy sex like a man does, and not getting judged for it. No, that ain't gonna work. That's not real life, okay? That's fake HBO life, okay? That's not real life at all, okay? You are gonna get judged. You will, okay? There's no way around that. I'm sorry, but it's true. Just like women judge men on things, okay? Men are gonna judge women on things. There's no way around that, ladies, okay? There's no way around that. Now, you try to hide your insecurity by telling us you don't care what men think, and it doesn't matter what men think, okay? But the truth is you do. Okay, you do. Okay, most of you do. Okay, and that's the truth. You do care what guys think. You do care what the man that you love thinks about you. Okay? So don't give me this crap that you don't need us and we don't matter. We're superfluous. Like our opinions don't count. Okay? This and that. Don't give us any of that crap. Okay? Nobody believes it. Just because the people that make this show believe that and just because Hollywood believes that doesn't mean that we, the rest of society, believes that. Okay? We don't. We don't. Okay, and even me, okay, I am never going to go on this channel and tell you that men are better than women. I will never do that. There's plenty of pieces of crap of men out there. Okay, there's plenty of guys that are just wasting oxygen out there. I've met several. I'm sure you have too. Okay, absolutely. I'm never going to I'm not some sort of like a male, like a masculinist or something, if that's even a word. Okay, I'm not. Okay, okay. But at the same time, if I see, men being treated unfairly in these movies and TV shows, I'm going to call it out, just like as I would if I saw a child being treated unfairly, if I saw a woman being treated unfairly, if I saw an elderly person being treated unfairly, if I saw a person of color being treated unfairly, I would speak out about that as well. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. That's what this channel is about. It's not about hating women at all. Okay, I love women. I wouldn't know what to do without a woman. I'll be honest with you. That doesn't mean everything. My whole life isn't dependent on women, not at all. But there's a part of me that likes to be with women, that likes to be intimate with women, that likes to date women, that likes to have sex with women, that likes to talk to women. There is a part of me that's like that. And if I were to cut myself off from that part, okay, I wouldn't be a whole person. You see what I mean? I wouldn't be complete. I wouldn't feel complete. Okay? So I'm not going to here pretend that part of me doesn't exist. Of course it exists. Okay? What I'm telling you, ladies, is quit pretending it doesn't exist for you either. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. Okay? Because the people that make this show, they don't care. They don't care about your feelings. Okay? They don't care about what you really want. Okay? They're just trying to push a message. Okay? They grab the microphone from you and saying, we're going to speak for you. Okay, and what women want is LGBTQ rights. They want Black Lives Matter. They want misandry. They want all this bullshit. Okay, and it's just not true. It's not true. Okay, I think this election that we had, okay, really opened the eyes to a lot of people. Not the people that make this show, of course, but to a lot of people. I think the people that make this show, okay, their bubble, their political party, okay, they realized that they thought they were speaking for all of America, but they're not. They're just speaking for each other. the majority of the people in this country, in the world, I'd even say, okay, men love being men. We love our masculine qualities. We like being men, okay? And I'm not trying to sound sexist here at all. I'm not, okay? But honestly, in the bottom of my heart, okay, I would never want to be a woman. I would never want to be a woman, okay? The idea of being weaker, and just that just doesn't sit well with my personality, okay? It just doesn't, okay? Maybe if I was born a woman, it'd be different, okay? But I wasn't, right? I like being a man. I'm interested in manly things that men like, okay? So, and I that's not a part of myself that I'm ashamed of. It's not a part of myself that I want to get rid of, that I want to tame or anything like that. No, because I'm also mature. Okay, I know how to control my emotions. Okay, I'm not some freaking caveman. I'm not some freaking troglodyte here. Okay, you see what I mean? I still pay my taxes. Okay, I still, I still handle my responsibilities. Okay, I have health insurance. I do all these things. Okay, I take my son to school. I make sure he's got all his vaccinations. Okay, you know what I mean? Okay, like I have responsibilities, okay? But yes, I'm also attracted to women, okay? Women make me horny. Beautiful women make me horny, okay? As I've dated women. I'm dating right now, honestly, okay? Okay, I'm putting my mouth, I shouldn't say that. I'm putting my money in my mouth. But, okay, you know what I mean? Okay, hey, I'm Mexican, okay? Of course, there's going to be a lot of that. But anyway, that's not the point. That's not what we're talking about here, okay? What I'm saying is that, I am actively dating, okay? I am a guy out there, okay, in the bush. Okay, I'll stop with the puns, all right? I'm out there in the jungle right now, navigating through enemy terrain. You see what I mean? Okay, so I know what it's like to be a man dating women, okay? I know what it's like. All right, and I can tell you what's realistic and what's not. And this is not realistic. Sex and the City was not realistic. I was dating back then too. I was in my 20s back then. I was dating lots of women. Okay, and let me tell you something. That's not the way we are. The way we were portrayed on Sex and the City is not the way me or any of my other guy friends are. Okay, we're not like that at all. Okay, it's because the guys like that don't really exist. Okay, they're just written that way to make the woman superior to the man. Same thing with this show. The men are all witness beta male soy boy cucks. Okay, with no self-esteem, no masculinity. Okay, they're all closeted homosexuals. They're all male feminists. Okay, they're all that type. Okay, and the reason they're that way, okay, is to elevate the women on the show. The women are the strong ones. They're the smart ones. Okay, their problems matter more than the men's problems. Okay, they're better than the men. Okay, with the only exception to that is the gay guys. Okay, the gay guys are on equal terms with the women. All right, but that's the way the show is written. The men are all weak, the women are all strong, because you can't show a weak woman on a TV show, despite the fact that once you walk out that fucking door, okay, you're gonna see a lot of weak women. You're gonna meet a lot of weak women, okay, with no self-esteem, okay, that are not boss bitches at all, far from it, okay, but you're never gonna see that on this show. Okay, you're only going to see men act that way, despite the fact when you walk out that door, ladies, you're going to meet several guys, okay, that are not fucking limp dick soy boys, okay, they're actually very in touch with their masculinity, okay, they actually are self-confident, okay, they are actually comfortable around women, okay, they're actually, good at what they do, and they know it. They don't need anyone to tell them how great they are. They already know how great they are. You see what I mean? Okay, there's men like that out there, but you're never going to see a guy like that on this show. Okay, you see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this show is not realistic at all. It feeds a fantasy for a lot of lonely women out there that want to fantasize about being in their 60s and dating all these handsome men and what ideal marriage would be like. And they're telling you what an ideal marriage is. An ideal marriage is when you control the husband. The husband pays for everything, but you actually have the ultimate authority in the marriage. You boss him around. You tell your kids. You tell your kids what to do. You boss everybody around. Okay, and if you want to have an affair, okay, you have every right to do it because you're a boss bitch, and it's what you deserve. And if he ain't giving it to you, someone else better will. Like that, all that kind of bullshit. The men aren't allowed to be that way. They're not allowed to be that way. The women definitely are. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. It's not realistic. There's no real men on the show. I wish there was. I really wish there was, because when I watched Sex and the City, I can count on one hand how many times I saw a real man on that show. Okay, Big acted like a real man, at least for the first 3 seasons of Sex and the City. He acted like a real man. After that, he was just some puppet. Okay, he wasn't even a real man anymore. He was emasculated. He was a soy boy. He was crying about Carrie. He was, he was full of. He lost all of his self-esteem. He lost all of his confidence. He was very pitiful. Okay, and don't even get me started on the wedding, the non-wedding. Okay, when he pussied out at the last minute, get the hell out of here. Okay, no guy like that would ever pussy out 5 minutes before he's supposed to fucking say his vows. That's bullshit. Okay, that is bullshit. Okay, no, I never believe that at all. Okay, bad enough he didn't have any groomsmen. There was nobody from his side of the family at that wedding. He had no best man. He had nothing. Anyway, moving right along. But okay, so Big. Okay, at least the first 3 seasons he was realistic. Steve has always been realistic. To me, I know guys like Steve. Okay, but why he would want to get back with Miranda, I have no idea. Okay, why he loved her so much, it made no sense. He had a hotter girlfriend. Okay, I know he had a kid with Miranda, but she didn't want to be with him, and he was fine with his hotter, younger girlfriend. Okay, then all of a sudden Miranda decided to dump her black boyfriend because she really loved Steve, and he was just like, "Oh, and you're the one for me too, Miranda." I didn't really buy it, but I figured, okay, this is Steve likes to be like bullied around in his marriage. He likes to be with a woman that tells him what to do, that criticizes him, that insults him, that emasculates him. Okay, that's what he wants. Unfortunately, I know guys like that too because they're desperate. Okay, they can't get women. They have no skills around women, so they're going to take what they can get. And if this unattractive woman says, "I will fucking be your wife," okay, they're more than happy to accept it. At least they don't have to worry about getting rejected by women anymore because now they got one at home. Okay, and that's better than nothing. Okay, you see what I mean? So there are guys like that out there. So even though I didn't like it, I kind of accepted it that Steve would marry her. But Steve, to me, was always a better guy than Miranda. He was also more likable. He was more honest. He was more, yeah, I know he cheated on her, but goddamn it, come on, wouldn't you cheat on her too? Come on, guys, if you were married to Miranda, wouldn't you fucking cheat? I know I fucking would. Well, actually, I wouldn't because I never would have fucking married her. Okay, but if I had a girlfriend like that, oh my god, what the? I must have been going through some serious low self-esteem, some serious loss of confidence if I was dating something like Miranda. Okay, but even if I was, would I have fucked around? Absolutely. I would have cheated on her and never looked back. Okay, she is not worth it. All right, but Steve, he was not quite as masculine, but he's still believable as a guy. So there's that. Okay, and then the third guy on Sex and the City that was believable, realistic, was Jack Berger. I know you hate him. I know, ladies. I know you hate him. I know you fucking hate him. Okay, I get it. All right? I was watching these episodes when they first came out, and I remember coming back to work on Monday morning because these episodes used to air on Sunday. Okay, and all the women that I worked with just like, that fucking asshole. I don't think he was an asshole. I don't. I actually, at that time, agreed with pretty much everything that he said and did. I was actually shocked because he was reacting the way I would react. And I couldn't understand why so many women didn't like that. Like, what the hell? Of course. Like when Carrie was talking, when they first had their first like sit down talk together at the wedding, right? At Bobby Fine's wedding. And Bitsy Von Muffling, when they got married, Carrie took some time off because they were in the Hamptons. She took some time off to go out and sit in the grass with Jack Berger, and they talked. And what did she do? All she did was talk about Aiden, okay, and Big. Okay? She left out the part that she cheated on Aiden, and that's why he left her. She left that part out. But that's all she fucking did. And I remember Jack just sitting there. He's got his motorcycle right there, just sitting there listening to all this. He's like, okay, all right, well, I got to go now. Bye. And just walked away and got his motorcycle and left. And she's like, what? And I remember the women being like, well, that was a dick thing to do. Oh my God, how disrespectful. Disrespectful? All you fucking did is talk about your fucking ex-boyfriend. You think that's what he fucking wanted to listen to? Disrespectful would have been to get up and tell you, hey, you know what? I don't give a shit about your fucking ex-boyfriends. I don't give a shit about your former relationship and how great they were and how much they fucked you over. I don't give two fucking shits about any of that fucking stuff. I wanted to get to know you, not about your fucking ex-boyfriend. Okay? That would have been disrespectful. But he didn't do that, did he? No, he just got up, politely said goodbye, and left. Okay? Which is exactly what I would have done. I don't even think the writers even knew what they had back then. I know I'm talking about old episodes, but it's there. Watch my old videos if you want to see what I thought about those episodes after I reviewed them. But right now, let's get to this episode. Okay, let's finish up this episode. But first, real quickly here. Okay, that right there, Diego knows Diego. Okay, that right there, that is my ex. Okay, because I post all these videos on X as well. I have to because YouTube is far left and they don't like the things that I say, even if you're centered. Okay, so that's my ex. This right here, Diego de la Vega knows that is my Rumble. Okay, that's Rumble there. Okay, and they definitely will keep my videos posted. Okay, they're not going to take down my videos at all. All right, if they're going to keep Steven Crowder on there as their number one guy, they can definitely. I'm nowhere near as good as Steven Crowder. All right, but we do align politically, so excuse me. So there is that. Okay, so now I got that out of the way. Let's finish up this episode now. Where we left off last time, okay, was the conversation between Carrie and Aiden, okay, where Aiden admitted that he cheated on Carrie, even though they're separated for 5 years and they weren't supposed to talk to each other for 5 years, and they were supposed to stay faithful to each other for 5 years, you know, and he was going to live in Virginia and she was going to live in New York for 5 years, you know. Despite all of that, they have been talking and they have been visiting each other and they have been having sex, okay, and he cheated on Carrie. He cheated on Carrie with his ex-wife, Kathy, okay, who lied to Carrie and tricked Carrie into smuggling some Adderall to Virginia for her son to take without telling Aiden. Aiden did not want his son on an Adderall. He does not want his son to get addicted to pills. Okay, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of drama going on here, okay? And something I forgot to mention when in my review, the last review I did, was that I wondered, okay, why the hell would Aiden fuck Kathy? They're divorced. I know they got 3 sons together, but their sons are pretty much grown already, except for Wyatt. He's the youngest one. Okay, and I think Homer, not Homer, but the other one, I don't fucking remember their name. Oh yeah, Homer. I think Homer is like 17 or 16, and Wyatt is like 15 or something like that. Anyway, so I don't understand why Aiden had sex with his ex-wife. Okay, he told Carrie they were dropping, Wyatt, their son Wyatt, did not want to get on the plane and go to Wyoming for a week to camp, for special ed kids. He did not want to go. They had to force him on the plane, and then they were so upset about it, okay, that they were trying to comfort each other, and one thing led to another. Okay, now, if you remember a couple episodes ago, we saw Kathy, okay, and we saw her boyfriend, okay, what was his name, Bob? I think his name was Bob. And we saw him, okay, and I told you what I thought about that guy, okay? I know exactly why Kathy cheated on her boyfriend Bob, okay, with Aiden, okay, with her ex-husband. I know exactly why, and I called it out back then when we first met him, okay? You want to talk about closeted homosexual. Oh my God, Bob, not only is he an alcoholic, okay, he wears pink, he runs like a bitch, he sounds like a bitch. Okay, he has no self-esteem. He'd rather watch gay porn, okay, instead of hanging out with his girlfriend and her family. I mean, this guy is just sipping martinis, and gossiping to Carrie, who doesn't fucking know about all the problems he has about dating Kathy, okay? Of course she's going to cheat on him, okay? And this guy says cuck all over him. And so does Aiden, unfortunately. Aiden is also a time-tested, proven cuck, okay? So he's also low value as well, despite the fact that they try to make him high value. They did in Sex and the City, but it didn't really work because he got fucked over, by Carrie. So no. I don't understand why Aiden fucked Kathy. I know why Kathy fucked Aiden. I do not know why Aiden fucked Kathy. And why the hell did they get a divorce anyway? It's never been revealed why Kathy and Aiden got divorced, okay? The only reason they're divorced is so that Aiden can become available. See, now that Carrie's killed her husband big, now she's single again. So now Aiden can become available to her. Now she can make up for how she fucked him over 20-something years ago. You see what I mean? It's her second chance, or actually her third chance, to get back with Aiden and fix things with Aiden, okay? And get the relationship that she never got from, the long-term relationship that she never got from him the first time, or the second time. You see what I mean? It's her way of redoing her past. Okay, you see, and that's just not realistic either. Why the fuck would a guy like that want to be back with her? Now, okay, yes, you probably heard me talk about the story about my ex-girlfriend. Yes, okay, yes, I did hook up with her again some 15 years after we broke up. We found each other again on Facebook and all that stuff happened, okay? Yes, I have feelings for her, still have feelings for her. Okay, I'm always going to have feelings for her, okay? But even though we got back together briefly, I knew that, we weren't these people in our 20s anymore. Okay, we had grown. Okay, she had become a mother. Okay, and she's a grandma now. Okay, and her life had progressed in one direction. My life had progressed in another direction. And who knows if we had actually stayed together back in the 90s. When we were young and in love with each other. Okay, who knows if we still would have stayed married? We probably wouldn't have. Okay. So there's no point in dwelling on the past, okay? She's still my friend to this day. We still talk to each other every once in a while. We still, like each other's posts on Facebook. We still do all those things, okay? And I'm always going to have feelings for her. I'm always going to love her, okay? Maybe not in a romantic way like we used to when we were younger, but I'm always going to love her. There's always going to be a place for her in my heart, and that's never going to go away, okay? And that's good enough for me. I don't want to go back there and try to redo it. I don't want to go back there and try to relive my 20s with her again, okay? Let's not delude ourselves. We're not there anymore. That was a time in our life, but life progresses, life moves forward. And if you're lucky, you'll find a partner who will move forward with you in the same direction. Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, and obviously the writers of this show don't know anything about that because they're all gay and they're all trans, okay? And they hate white people and they hate straight white men especially. And I'm not even white and I'm telling you this, okay? So yeah, they wouldn't understand that stuff, okay? So anyway, so that happens. He admits that he cheated on Carrie. Carrie doesn't give a shit. She had no intentions on staying faithful to him either, and that shocks Aiden. Like, yeah, what, you want to sleep with other people? And she's like, well, you tried to not sleep with other people and that didn't work. So why did you think I was going to do it? That kind of stuff. And then she called him a sexist for assuming that she would have stayed faithful to him for 5 years. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Nobody should have assumed anything. This is dumb, okay? This is just, they want to keep Aiden on the show, but they don't want to pay him to be in every episode. So that's why they had him separate. That's the honest to God truth, okay? That is the honest to God truth. All right? So that's going on here, okay? But Carrie Bay says, no, I don't want to sleep with other people, but if you're not going to give it to me, I'm going to get it from somewhere else. That kind of thing. Like, well, where's the guarantee that if what if you meet fucking, Big Dick Richie or something, and he fucks you a lot better than Aiden? You're not going to get back with Aiden after that. After he stretched you out so much, you're not going to feel Aiden anymore. Okay, of course you're not going to take him back. All right, so what the hell? This is stupid. Anyway, okay, so anyway, they end up having sex after all. She keeps her clothes on, so I don't know how the fuck that works. I know Sarah Jessica Parker has a clause that she does not do nudity. I get it, okay, but still, who the fuck has sex with their clothes on? I mean, that's just dumb. Why do we gotta see butt ugly Miranda, okay, naked, but we can't see fucking Sarah Jessica Parker naked, all right? What the fuck, okay? Anyway, moving right along, now we got Lisa Todd Wesley's dad's funeral. Lawrence Todd, played by the late Billy D. Williams. Well, he's still alive, but he's dead on this show, which sucks because he's still alive, and I wanted to see more of him on the show. He was one of the few good things I liked about the show was watching Billy D. Williams. That guy's a legend. He's one of my idols. I looked at him like, damn it, dude, I want to be like that when I grow up. Okay, I remember seeing Lando Calrissian. Hey, what do we have here? With some Colt 45. Like that. And this guy was just smooth and suave. And to see him treated like this on the show just fucking sucks. All right. He was the best thing about fucking And Just Like Crap. All right. So anyway, we hear the Amazing Grace song. Okay. It's Lisa's dad's funeral. Herbert's mom is there. Now, Herbert's mom is a bitch. We all know that. We saw that in season 1. She treats everyone like shit. She treats her son like shit. He's a soy boy, limp dick, a suck dick. The only person he lets boss around him more than his wife is his mom. He's a strict mama's boy, okay? Like, she has to wipe his ass. He's such a fucking pussy. He can't do a goddamn thing without his mama. His mama's got to change his diaper every fucking day. That's the kind of guy that he's a fucking bitch, all right? Anyway, so Herbert's mom is there, okay? And, and the funeral is at the theater that Lawrence owned, okay? And Lucille points out her Michael Kors purse again because she's fucking creams every time she hears the name Michael Kors, okay? And that's Lucille. That's the stage manager, the general manager of Lawrence's, theater company or whatever. She was the one that raised all the money, hired everybody. She ran that theater for him, okay? And she sees herself as being on equal footing as her boss's daughter, okay? So that's why she put herself in charge of the funeral instead of his daughter being in charge of the funeral, okay? Okay, but they had an agreement. They went to a no whites allowed diner so they could talk about it. Because that's okay. It's just the other way around that's evil. Think about it. Anyway, yeah, but she fucked me over because she pulled out some Mexican hot sauce for her fucking chicken and waffles. Because she carries that in her fucking Michael Kors for emergencies. Anyway, so right now, Lucille is dressed like a fucking reject from The Wiz. Okay, complete with the fucking Evil Lynn fucking headdress, that Evil Lynn wore in the He-Man cartoon. At least Anyway, so she tells Lisa that she's got 3 minutes to give the eulogy. Okay, and Herbert, of course, her husband Herbert, who's a beta male, bald, soy boy, limp dick, pussy, closeted homosexual. He's more pussy whipped by his mom than he is by his wife. Go figure. Okay, Seema arrives and she's all pissed off that she had to take a train and then walk the rest of the way. She's not used to walking. She's used to having a driver, but she had to let go of her driver because she lost her job. I guess she can't pay him anymore. And she was more emotionally devastated by losing her fucking driver, who never even fucking spoke. All he ever did was drive her around, than she is about fucking any of the fucking love interests that she had on this fucking show. Okay, she didn't feel anywhere near as much emotional connection with the fucking nightclub owner in Brooklyn, with the fucking A-list fucking movie director that has a contract with Marvel, okay, to make superhero movies. Okay, she didn't give two shits about him either. Okay, and she sure as hell didn't give two shits about the guy from fucking the guy with the fucking penis pump. All right, like she didn't have no emotional attachment to them, but she had an emotional attachment to her fucking driver. Go figure. That's the kind of person that Seema is. Anyway, she complains about it. What the fuck's she even doing? How good friends is she with Lisa? She's not good friends with Lisa. She's barely friends with Carrie. How the fuck does she join the fucking quartet? This is stupid. This makes no fucking sense. My God. Anyway, all she did was fucking sell Carrie an apartment or some shit. Now she's a main character on the show. This is who gives a shit about her? God, she's insufferable. You know, anyway, so boo-hoo-hoo on her hurting feet and shit. Anyway, moving right along, Carrie arrives with Aiden, and Aiden, of course, is wearing a black suit, which is much too small for him. He looks like he's waiting for a flood. Now, I know that if you look around right now, you're going to see a lot of fucking Zoomers out there that are wearing those pants that go all the way above their ankles. I guess it's like a fashion choice now. To me, it looks gay as fuck. It looked gay in the fucking 80s, okay, and it still looks gay today, but apparently that's a fashion thing right now. Guys are actually wearing like capris now. Straight guys supposedly are wearing capris now. Go fucking figure. Anyway, that's what Aiden looks like. Obviously, the blazer is way too fucking small for him. The pants are way too tight. They're too fucking high. He looks like he's waiting for a flood. He looks fucking ridiculous. Why does he look ridiculous? Why did they put this gag in the show? Why? Because Aiden is straight. That's why. Because he's a straight man. So of course he has to be ridiculed. He has to be emasculated. He has to be made fun of. And that's not even the end of it. Later on, he's gonna fucking rip his crotch too in the theater. Okay, so he's got to fucking wait for everyone to leave before he can stand up and walk out of there as well. Okay, so of course they're gonna do this thing because he's straight. They have to do this to the straight guy. They can't have a straight guy just get away, just look cool on the show. No, they gotta fucking piss themselves. Okay, they gotta use fucking penis pumps in order to get hard. You see what I mean? Okay, that's what straight guys are on this fucking show. Okay, they gotta be fucking hard of hearing or something. You know, they gotta be handicapped. You see what I mean? And this is fucking ridiculous, man. God. Anyway, so that's why they did it, okay? You know, and Carrie says, like, well, Big and Tall store is now a Castro convertible. Whatever that means. And Aiden says, like, where did you get, Anthony says, where did you get that? The short and tight men's shop? Okay, so he's making fun of Aiden. Like, who the fuck are you, you goddamn fag, to make fun of me? Okay? You know, that's what I would say, but... Because when the hell have Anthony and Aiden ever been fucking buddy-buddy? They're not. Okay, so you just fucking insulted me, you fucking queer. You know, who the fuck are you to make fun of me? You fucking butt pirate. That's what I would have said. But then again, I never would have dated Carrie, so I never would have dated and wearing a piece of shit fucking too small fucking suit like that. Anyway, so that's going on here. You know, Miranda tells Seema that she's gonna take that apartment after all, the Whisper apartment, the one that the owner wanted 150 grand above listed price. She's gonna take it after all because they do allow dogs there, and if they didn't allow dogs there, then not only would Miranda not be able to move in, but her fucking dog of a girlfriend Joy wouldn't be able to move in or come see her. Okay, and then bring her beautiful canines. You know, yeah, the actual canines are better looking than the fucking dogs that own them. Okay, so, you know, because she wants more joy. Get it? Get the pun? More joy? That's what she wants. That's why she wants to take the apartment now. She changed her mind after she gave fucking Seema this big, long fucking speech about how New York real estate is overpriced and she doesn't want to be part of the problem. On principle, I will not take this apartment. You know, that kind of fucking shit. You know, just more woke fucking bullshit. Okay, anyway, so Aiden, of course, rips his pants in the crotch while he sits down, you know, and he says, like, oh my God, I can see my big and tall. And of course, Carrie starts laughing at that, like, oh, really, Carrie? Is it that funny? No, it's just like, if you did have a big and tall, I would have cheated on you. Yeah. Hey, there's a reason the guy she was cheating on him with was named Big, all right? Get it? You want to see, really? You want to look down there and see a big one here? Here's a magnifying glass. All right. Anyway, enough jokes. Move right along. Lucy. sorry. Okay. Lucille sings. Okay, on stage, dressed like the fucking witch from the fucking Wiz. Okay. And then of course Herbert's mom calls her Miss Coretta Scott King, styled by Liberace, which I thought was kind of funny. Okay, she just insults people. She's an insufferable cunt, just like everyone else is, but turned up to the 10th degree. That's all Herbert's mom is. I don't even fucking remember her name. I don't give a shit about her. Okay. Anyway, Lisa goes up to Herbert and gives the eulogy. She goes on stage and he's there in the background watching her give the eulogy speech about her dad. Okay, but she can't go through with it. Instead, she just gets into a fucking self-pity rant about like, yes, I know my father was here for you when it mattered. But I wasn't there for him when it mattered. Like that. Okay. Herbert actually decides to come up there and take the mic away from his fucking, from his meltdown of a wife. Okay, and going like, hey, I didn't know Lawrence Todd that well, but I do know he made me watch a lot of shows in this theater that I didn't want to watch. Okay, stuff like will there be afros in space? Like that. Okay, just being a fucking dad jokes shit. All right. But at least he stood up for his wife, okay? He saved her. She doesn't do a goddamn thing for him. She bossed him around. She emasculates him. She wants to cheat on him. Not just with the fucking 7'2" hung to his shoe fucking NBA-looking motherfucker that she hired, but with like fucking underage boys. Like that. She fantasizes about having sex with fucking boys that are like 14, 15 years old, okay? So Lisa's a fucking piece of shit. She really is, okay? But he's too much of a soy boy cuck to fucking, to even see any of that stuff in his piece of shit wife, okay? Because he's fucking pussy whipped, all right? Anyway, so this bullshit, this is bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on this whole funeral because Billy D. Williams, like I said before, is a fucking legend. He's a legend. He's one of my role models. He's one of my idols, Billy D. Williams. I loved his fucking movies. I loved Lady Sings the Blues. I loved fucking Mahogany, okay? I loved Billy D. Williams. I even loved him in fucking in Ladies Man, okay? Remember that one with Tim Meadows where he played the bartender? And the ladies loved him. I love this guy. I love Billy D. Williams. This guy is the baddest motherfucker in the world, dude, for me. Especially growing up. Lando Calrissian, motherfucker. I love this guy. Why'd you have to do him like this? Don't do this to him. That would be like fucking having Sylvester Stallone in one of these episodes, and then you find out that she plays like, let's say he plays like fucking, I don't know, maybe he plays someone's dad. Maybe he plays Seema's dad or some shit, right? And then you find out that he's actually likes to get fucked up the ass, and Seema didn't know about it. And that's a whole plot point right there, discovering that her father's gay. Why would you do that to a legend, a heterosexual legend? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, dude, that they would do. He doesn't even show up in this episode. My God, I wanted to see him at least, It's just sad. Anyway, they shouldn't. They should have brought him back. Okay, I was looking forward to seeing him again. Okay, he's one of the few good things I liked about the show was Billy Dee. He's only in one episode last season. Okay, he made the speech to fucking Herbert's mom about what a piece of shit woman she is. For not giving up her dreams. Okay, to be a fucking stay-at-home housewife. He gave this whole speech. Just because you didn't get to accomplish your dreams doesn't mean that my daughter shouldn't be allowed to accomplish hers. With a bottle of Colt 45. Like that, just fucking smooth. Damn. Anyways, I was really looking forward to seeing him, and it bothered me. It really, honestly, I'm telling you from the heart, man, it bothered me. It bothered me that they did him this way. Okay, because this guy's a legend. You don't treat legends this way. Okay, you should have had at least another appearance before you killed him off. All right? Anyway, not a one and done. Anyway, so Lisa's mother-in-law tells her that if you're not there when they die, because, obviously Lisa's upset. So outside of the funeral, she tells her, hey, if you're not there when they die, that means that the spirit didn't want you there. Okay? They wanted you to remember him the way that he was. You see what I mean? And I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay, because Lisa blames herself for turning off her phone while her dad was dying, that nobody could call her. Okay, she turned off her phone because she was too busy flirting with her employee. So when she turned it back on, she finds out that he died. She no one told her because she had her phone turned off. So she blames herself for not being there when he needed him. Okay, but you know what I mean? If he was sick like that, you know, like he wouldn't have wanted you to be there. You know, he wants you to remember him when he was young and healthy and stuff. And even me, you know, that when I think about my mother, you know, I don't want to think about my mother died right in front of me. Okay, my mother died right in front of me. She was sick. She had cancer. You know, my older brother made the decision to take her off life support. Okay, and we were all there. All of her children were there. We were all there in the hospital with her. Okay, you know, and she was suffering so much. She'd been suffering for a long time. And there was nothing the doctors could do. Okay, so it was kind of merciful. All right, but even today, I don't think about that when I think about my mom. Okay, I remember when I was a kid. I remember my mom being there. You know, I just remember my mom coming home from work. You know, and you know that's the way I want to remember her. Okay, not the way she was when she was sick at the end, but the way she was when she was young and beautiful, and I was a little kid. You know what I mean? You know, and I think that's the point here. Okay, it's not about how you die. It's about how you lived. You know. Anyway, so there's my tearjerker moment there. All right. And Herbert's mom actually gives Lisa a Belgian lace handkerchief here and gives it to her as a gift for her dad dying. Whatever the fuck that means. Anyway, Aiden and Carrie leave. Okay, they leave. They're the last ones to leave because he ripped his crotch, so he can't like get up and walk away while there's so many people there. Okay, and he kisses her goodbye, you know, and then tells her that he'll call her when he gets home. The next scene, Carrie's in bed. He's already dressed now, until he kisses her goodbye while she's still in bed. So like, I'll call you when I get home. In other words, when he gets back to Virginia, he'll call her to let her know that he made it home safe. And Carrie's like, oh, you are home. No, he's not. You know why he's not home? Okay, it's because fucking Duncan Reeves, okay, with his heart on, is downstairs waiting to fucking plow you, okay? And if that ain't good enough for you, Adam's gonna come back, okay, to tend to your garden and plant some seeds. You know, that's what, at least that's what his t-shirt's gonna say while he's fucking you doggy style. All right. So no. Aiden's not home. Okay, he needs to go home. All right, that's going on here. Okay, and Aiden's upstairs in the kitchen now making himself some coffee. And guess who shows up? Duncan shows up. He walks up the stairs from downstairs and he's shocked to see Aiden there. Okay, I guess he thought Carrie wasn't fucking anybody. Who knows? Okay, but he dropped off the first chapter of his book. Okay, but the book he's writing about Margaret Thatcher. Okay, this guy's an award-winning writer. I mean, Miranda fucking loves this guy. She's read all of his books. He writes only nonfiction, but for the first time in his life, he's going to write a woman. He's going to write about a woman, a Margaret Thatcher, and apparently that's a hell of a lot more difficult to do than it is to write about men. Okay, why? You're writing nonfiction, right? So what the fuck? All you got to do is get the facts right. That's it. Okay? You don't have to fucking, it's not about like, are you going to offend women if they, what the fuck? You're going to offend everybody if you don't get the facts right. As long as you get the facts right, you are good. You are good. Okay? But apparently he needs a woman's opinion on Margaret. Like, what the fuck does Carrie know about Margaret Thatcher? Okay? What the fuck, dude? This is fucking ridiculous. It's just another way of emasculating him. He's not comfortable around women. He doesn't know how women think or what they want. So he needs a woman to show him how to do it. I don't know. I'm scared. Like that. You see, I mean, just more emasculation. And this guy's supposed to be straight or some shit. Anyway, who fucking knows? So he gets there. He drops off the first chapter of his book for Carrie to read. Okay, and of course he gives it to Aiden. You know, and Aiden, of course, leaves it on the table that he bought for her that she really wanted. Okay, and you know, so Carrie looks at the manuscript there, and then she goes to her bathroom to reach for some Tums. Tom. Now, Tums has been overlying throughout this entire episode. They've made reference to Tums, not just product placement. Okay, not just because watching this episode makes your stomach hurt, but because, you know, there's a meaning there. Okay, well, she's out of Tums. So what does she do? She walks over to the nearest CVS to buy some Tums. And while she's there, who does she see? She runs into Charlotte. Charlotte is there buying adult diapers. Okay, so Carrie goes like, Charlotte, what are you doing over here on this side of town? And Charlotte's like, oh, I came all the way over here because I didn't want anyone from my neighborhood to recognize me, okay? But then I forgot that you lived right around the corner and we were probably going to bump into each other. Oh, my God. You know, that kind of thing. And she's carrying the big thing of adult diapers, all right? And then she breaks down. It depends, by the way. So there's more product placement. Depends. Now, if you remember Sex and the City, that all sorts of fucking product placement. Even this show has had a shitload of product placement on here. Okay, and I try my best to highlight it here. Remember the other episodes where they had Arby's and they had Burger King and KFC? Remember all that? Remember the KY that they had in the first season that Miranda bought for her son's girlfriend? Remember that? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, okay. And all the fucking books that they dropped and shit like that. Oh, read this book. You know how to overcome alcoholism as a feminist. You know, that kind of bullshit like that. You know. Anyway, so she's got a big bag of Depends. You know, adult diaper, colostomy bags. Okay, and she tells Carrie that Harry has prostate cancer. He's got prostate cancer. I couldn't tell anybody. What am I gonna do? What's gonna happen to me? You know, that kind of shit, right? She starts crying. Carrie, of course, swears to secrecy, okay? And then Charlotte breaks down right on her, and she just hugs her. What's going to happen without my meal ticket? Yeah, basically, that's how the episode ends, all right? So get with that what you will. All right, well, by the way, today's my birthday, so I'm done with this shit for today. But, of course, I'm going to review the next episode when it comes out tomorrow night. Okay, but so I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. Okay, it's my fucking birthday today, and I'm gonna have fun. I'll probably go watch Superman, even though it looks gay as fuck. It's gonna be my day. It's gonna be my day today, okay? No more of this fucking shit, all right? So thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you for the next episode, all right? Bye.